What's up, everybody? Look, I told y'all we had to do this Mahki Phillips breakdown. And the reason that is because when I was watching this fight, not even watching, when I was recording this fight, I was recording and watching out this small ass screen that you see right here. Look at this baby ass screen. Anyway, so I'm breaking my neck, looking down like this and recording, and I'm watching this fight. I'm like, yo, these guys are doing some things. Like, they got some tactics behind what they're doing. Every other fight, it was just, let's go in there and kill. Now, these guys, they pull out the full arsenal, and I'm like, I even had to text my guy and ask him, like, yo, are you doing what I think you're doing? I'll show you in a second. But anyway, it was just phenomenal. It was a phenomenal fight. And then when I get back to the house, I put it up on the full screen, go back and start watching it, doing the editing process and everything. And I'm like, yo, I have to do a breakdown. And what made me really want to do the breakdown was the guy from OTX said it. I don't think this crowd knows what they're watching though. After I heard that, I was like, he got a point. Not everybody understands the sweet science. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to go in and break down the fight and let everybody know what the hell is really going on? With that being said, this project had to come out because of that reason. The biggest thing I want to talk about is the comparisons between boxing and chess. Boxing and chess are both played on the same platform. You got a ring, you have a squared circle, you have a board that you're playing on, right? And with that board being squared shape, it gives you that ability to take certain aspects of chess and apply them in boxing. Okay, so let's go ahead and put up the visuals. It's chess, not checkers. Remember that. One of the most important things you can do in chess is take center control, being these four squares, and then this outside perimeter as well. When you maintain this position in the chessboard, you get full range of motion from whatever piece you're playing with. So let's say, example, you have this queen right here. Look how much room that she has to move. As long as she's playing in these squares, she has a full 360. And it goes the same thing in boxing. Once you take that center position, you have full range of motion. Now, the moment you transition yourself and put yourself on the rim, your ability to move is cut in half to a quarter. Just because you put yourself in a bad placement. Even if you put yourself right here in the middle, like, okay, yeah, you have 180 degrees versus 90 degrees. So being on the rim, which is on the ropes or on the outside perimeter, is the worst thing for you. Let's say hypothetically, you have a queen right here on the rim and you have another queen countering its attack. These are the ways the attack that the black queen can play. Now, this is the way it could move to evade, to escape, or just to transition. So no matter which way this white queen moves, it's being attacked in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different positions. So if you step forward, if you go left, you roll right, no matter which way you go, you're going to walk into some type of danger. You're not going to go into unoccupied territory trying to come out that corner. Now, the black queen, it can step back, it can roll right, it can roll left, it can go all these other directions because it's maintaining that inner perimeter that we talked about. So it's like these squares here. Now transition this concept into boxing. Let's get away from the chessboard and go into the boxing ring. Same concept right here applies because look, the board and the ring are same platform. Now let's transition that from chess pieces to boxers. Okay, so this boxer right here in red, in order for him to get all the way across the ring, he has to move so many more spaces. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces to get all the way across. This guy right here in the middle has to move 4. He's cutting his energy that he's depleting down by half, forcing the other guy to move around. Now, even if that other guy moves around more, by taking 2, 3 steps, you're staying in front of this guy while he has to take double the amount of steps. You're maintaining center control. You can move forward, backwards, left, and right, and this guy can only really move left, right, and forward. That's the only place for him to really go. There's no unoccupied territory in front of the red fighter. He's gonna have to fight to get his way out of that corner. Center control is the main concept we want to focus on right now. Go ahead and break out the fight. Mahki Phillips is the one in gold and black. The other kid, I don't know his name. He's just red. So let's call him red. So Mahki Phillips, first thing he does, takes center control. Boom, stiff jab off the top. Pops his head back. Kid tries to take center control. Mahki Phillips regains it. Okay, now watch the traps. You see how he's standing in front of him and forcing him to stay on that outside perimeter? With that outside perimeter, this kid has to travel all the way across the ring. It's going to cost him like 5 steps to get across the ring. It's going to cost Mahki Phillips like 2 to 3 steps to stay right there in front of him. Now watch. The kid tries to come forward. Mahki Phillips has that full range of motion. This kid doesn't. He doesn't have the full range of motion. So Mahki Phillips could step off at a diagonal angle and rotate back and get center control again. Watch it. Rotate back. The kid in red tries to take somewhat of center control, but Mahki Phillips just feints at him, having the little more tools in his bag than the other kid, and just regains it. It's little tactics, little things here and there that you can do. Now, if you notice, he's talking to the crowd. So that's going to be another thing that you got to understand. This place is loud as hell. It's not a quiet place. You got everybody screaming, people jumping off the walls. Like, everything that can possibly go crazy is going crazy inside this place. Like, you just had a couple people become somebody's highlight reel. You know what I mean? So people are nuts in here. And this guy is talking to the crowd. And you're going to see several other things that he does and just how composed he is. Nice jab. The little trick that he's doing right here, he's putting all his weight on this kid for two reasons. One, to maintain control of what the other opponent is doing. By me throwing all my weight on you, that does two things. Like I said, collapses your lungs, making it harder for you to breathe. Two, you can't punch up from this angle. Like, you bent over, you can't. What are you going to do? There's no power, there's no nothing, there's no real danger. So one, I'm making you more tired. You got to fight to get me off you. Your lungs are collapsing. And then on top of that, bro, you can't touch me. I'm in control of you. Nice. Caught. Kid in red tries to dog him down, tries to force him to step back. But Mahki Phillips, he understands how to fight on a phone booth a little too much. And when that kid tries to step forward, he slides back and lets him just use all of his momentum of going forward and pushing himself into the ropes. Look, watch it again. Slide back, lets him take all of his own momentum. IQ is just too good. He said it best when I did the interview with him. He was like, bro, the kid was just not on my level. Like, there's a level to this game. And that's the thing about boxing. There is levels to boxing. Just like there's levels to chess. You start off as a novice, sub-novice, and go to all the way to grandmaster. You got to be able to understand how to use every piece on the board, every tool in your arsenal, from a jab to a hook to a stiff jab to a gazelle punch. You got to learn how to use all these tools and learn when to use them, when not to use them. And it's the same thing in chess. You got to learn how to use your pawn, your rook, your bishop, how to set up certain attacks, how to do certain staircase movements, work in combination. And that's the same thing in boxing. You have certain fighters that only know how to play with one piece. This guy only knows how to come forward, move left and right, and straight back. So with that being the case, like, he's moving like a rook. Left, right, forward, backwards. And bro, just cut off the ring, take center control. Where's he going to go? He's not going to go nowhere. He doesn't know how to move. Nothing but left, forward, straight back. And that's just what it was. You got to learn how to play with all your pieces, son. So, Mahki Phillips, center control right off the back. Remember, I'm talking about composure here. Now, obviously, this fight here isn't much for Mahki Phillips. He's kind of having his way, picking off shots. I haven't really talked about how he's throwing shots because you can see he's clearly in control. I'm really just mainly focused on center control right now. But this place is loud. And I didn't pick up on this until I came back to the house, put in the headphones, and I'm like, yo, did I hear something? Like, who's he talking to? And anyways, in the background, you hear somebody ask another spectator, yo, what weight they fight at? And it was subtle. It wasn't loud at all. Like, let's see if you can hear it. Let's see if we can hear it. How much he weighs? Says it right there. My guy pauses. 135. Comes back at it. And you see, he didn't just like, oh, let me talk to the crowd. No, my guy stayed defensively sound. And he said what he said. And he's like, oh, this guy paused for a second. Boom, let me get off. Like, yo, I'm still here. That shit was clean. You're going to see Mahki Phillips do this several other times the next fight as well. I'm watching it. I'm like, who the hell does that? The only other person I know that stays that composed is Floyd. Floyd having a main event fight and talking to the ringside judges and commentators talking about football. Or talking shit to somebody's girl, or talking shit to the coach, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's some... Tank does it too. Bro, you're 100% aware. You're able to distinguish real conversations from all this chaos that's going on in the background. That takes some real composure. So after that, I was like, what the fuck, bro? I didn't even hear that with the headphones on. I had to pause and listen and turn up to volumes and do all this shit to really dial into it. Bang, bang. Oh, right here again. So this is what I'm talking about. I had to text my guy and ask him, yo, are you counting all your clean shots? Like, he said, what is that, 15? Bro, I had to text him. I had to be like, where's that? Yo, look, my guy, when you fought the first guy, were you counting all your clean shots? And he laughs and is like, yeah. Bro, salute. My guy was able to stay so composed. He was able to count his cleanly landed shots, talk to the crowd, stay defensively sound and aware, and have some ring generalship. Yo, you're sharp. He's sharp as hell. What is that, 15? Talking to the crowd. Starts counting the shots again. Right here. Right here. Where's it? And if you notice, he's just staying right there off that center control, keeping the guy on the outside perimeter. The guy's running around, expending so much energy, and Mahki Phillips is taking 1 or 2 steps. What's that, 17, 18, 18, 19, throws that shot. Look, a lot of people probably were upset, especially I heard it in the crowd, like people were pissed off that he did what he did right here. I don't care. The reason I don't care is because you got to understand what happened. Mahki Phillips takes this step, right? And right here, he misses with that right hand. When the moment he misses with that right hand, he puts his forearm on top of him with some weight to control him so he cannot come back up and hit him with anything. He pushes him, controls him, and then as he has that forearm, he shoots the uppercut. Now the guy tries to take, I don't know if he lost his footing or if he tried to rotate outward to the right, but when he does that and loses his footing or rotates, his foot placement becomes too wide and it kind of just gives out. And at that time, Mahki Phillips throws that uppercut. So look, pay attention. Bam. You see what I'm saying? Like the foot gives out. Let's go to slow play. The foot gives out. Boom. Mahki Phillips still has his forearm. Shoots that shot. That shit lasted less than a second. So I don't care. It is what it is, bro. It's boxing. Protect yourself at all times. Mahki Phillips didn't really have to do much. Threw a couple feints, maintained center control, changed speeds and levels here and there. Like it wasn't too tactically sound. It was just a simple boxing match versus a sub novice. You know what I mean? It was very basic boxing. Mahki Phillips didn't do too much. Basic skills, bro. Changing levels, make sure you're changing your head, stalking them, walking them down, cutting off the ring, maintaining the center control, stepping forward, stepping out, throwing a couple feints here and there. It wasn't nothing like too tactically sound. The only thing I was really impressed by, like truly impressed by during that first fight, was how composed he was. Able to talk to the crowd, do everything else he is doing, able to count off certain shots and really stay in tune the whole time. Was like, damn, like bro, you're that in tune? You're that in tune. Was impressive to me. Now, when we get into this next fight with Santana Draper, solid fucking fighter. Solid fighter. When he gets into this next fight, both of these guys are kind of on the same level. And it becomes a chess match. It wasn't like anything else other than a chess match. It was, okay, you take this, I take that. You sacrifice this pawn, I take that from you. And Santana Draper is going to kind of come off as more of a counter puncher. You got to understand, like, what makes a high level fight. I wrote it down back there. It takes, first off, it's very simple. It takes 2 fighters of a high caliber to make a high level fight happen. Unless you have 2 high level fighters, you're never really going to truly see how great those fighters are, because the other one's going to push the other one to adjust and make changes and do certain things differently and see how he can pull out more tools from his tool bag than the other guy, or switch up certain things. You know what I mean? Like it's you jump here, I jump there. It's not checkers. It's not checkers. It's chess. It's I set this trap. I started with the Danish Open. I started with this. I started with that. It becomes sacrifices. Like, oh, you sacrifice this. I sacrifice that. And more of a like a give and take, trying to find openings and trying to see who's going to slip up. And that's exactly what this fight became. Both fighters did certain things well, but it was more about who's going to bite on certain things, who's going to slip on certain mental games that they were playing with each other, other than just a fight. Because both of these guys were fucking sharp. Like, both of these guys were sharp. Look, let's get into it. Okay, off the back. First off, these guys are familiar with each other. They fought each other in the amateurs. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head, but yeah, Mahki Phillips started telling me, he's like, yeah, that's my guy, hell of a fighter. Fought each other in the amateurs. And as of right now, I believe Mahki Phillips has more fights than Santana Draper. Santana Draper being the guy in the red and white gloves. Mahki Phillips being the guy with the gold gloves and green and black shirt. First thing you're going to see, try to take center control. Then you're going to see timing. And then you're going to see certain other little aspects of boxing, changing levels, giving and taking certain pieces and movements, trying to see who can bait a trap. And in the beginning, it's going to be very just getting a feel for each other, seeing what the speed is, seeing where they're at, seeing where their range is at, changing levels somewhat, but not changing height, if that makes any sense. So just pay attention to those little things. Let's get back into it right here. Okay, jab for a jab. Testing the speed. Changing levels right then and there. So the biggest thing is, don't be a stationary target. Don't be in the same spot. After you get off, don't ever be in the same spot, because basic fighters are going to shoot where you're at, not where you're going. You know what I mean? So don't stay in the same spot. Like, if you shoot that jab, move off the line. If you shoot a combo, get your head off the line. So you're going to see that early on. Watch it. They're going to test each other's jab speed. Santana Draper is going to try to counter and match his speed, see if he can get off on him. See that? See the change of speeds? The first jab Santana Draper threw was kind of a little lousy, kind of slow. Mahki Phillips shoots back. He changes speed, comes a little bit more speed on it, a little bit more increase on that. And then watch the change levels. See the level change? Just timing, a lot of timing going on, trying to figure out that timing. Seeing who could get there first. Look, this is very important. Now they're still battling for center control. So right now Santana Draper has control, right? But watch the little movements Mahki Phillips does right here. Those little inches to regain center control. Watch it. Watch his front foot. Steps forward, takes that inside position, rotates out. You see, it was so small, but look, now he regains center control with that small minor movements. And then he baits with a feint too to get Draper to come in. Watch it. See the small movements? Baits with the feint, rotates out, regains center control. Solid work. High, low. Nice shot. Good body work. Watch the ring IQ. Again, like I said, staying so damn composed. Now, this is a completely change of pace from the last fight to this fight. But even Mahki Phillips is still so fucking aware. Somebody asked his dad, I think this is his people right here, right? And they asked him, where y'all from? He's not even talking to Mahki Phillips in the fight. And he answers it. Watch it. This is all while he's trying to regain center control, trying to battle it out, trying to make sure he doesn't get caught in the ropes, making sure he understands where the ref is at, because he's trying not to get ran into right there. You're going to see it happen. And still to talk to the fucking crowd. Where y'all from? I'm from Capitol Heights, Maryland, and still shoots that long jab right after that. And he shoots that long jab because Santana Draper takes a small step forward. Like, yo, yeah, I'm talking to the crowd, but I'm still here. Watch it. Takes that small step forward. All right, you're in range. I'm from Capitol Heights, Maryland. Boom, shoots that long jab. Get back. Get back. Just because I'm talking don't mean I'm distracted. Feints the jab is from there. Still talking to the crowd. Okay, now it's a change of pace. It goes from shooting at the distance and trying to get that timing to Mahki Phillips stepping forward, trying to split that inside, trying to really dog it down. More about like, let's see who composes will. Let's see who's stronger. But even then, watch what he's going to do with his jab right here. Mahki Phillips realizes he has the range at some point. And after taking that data in, he puts Santana Draper on the ropes right here. And Santana Draper's trying to get off, trying to like impose some power because Mahki Phillips just imposed power, right? What does he do? Just a small stiff arm, pushes him back just a little bit, and that little nudge takes all the power off Santana Draper's shots that he's about to throw. Watch. Gets all on the inside, right here. Boom. Took all the power off. That one little movement. Good. Good exchange. Okay, so right here, has center control, takes an outside step off to the left, Mahki Phillips' left, giving Draper that left lane, or Mahki Phillips is right, Draper's left lane. And as he gets ready to rotate, shoots that shot going the direction that he knows he's going to go because he cut off the other direction. Like, you cannot go that way. Pay attention to it. Step forward, closes this gap, and lets him rose that way. Close that gap and watch the right hand. Boom. Knew he was going to rotate out. Now, Draper is going to be very defensively sound. He's going to get very, very few shots to really cleanly land on him. And the same thing with Mahki Phillips, but Draper is more of a counter puncher from what you can see. And Mahki Phillips is more that pressure fighter. Like, I'm going to impose my will. We're going to fight at my pace. We're going to do what I want. Beautiful. Beautiful work. You see, Draper kind of reacts off of everything Mahki Phillips does. And his dad tells him right here. I believe this is Draper's dad. I'm not 100% sure. It might just be his coach. But he tells him, he throws kind of a slow jab, slow, sloppy jab. Change that speed. Change that speed. Oh my God, bro. Look how beautiful this is. Mahki Phillips lets off like 6 or 7 shots. Draper effortlessly just blocks them all. I think Mahki Phillips does like a just an extended jab. Just it's not even a jab. It's just out there like a pawing, right? Trying to get that distance, trying to block, blind, engage that distance. Right after that, shoots the right hand. Draper parries that, catches the next one with the forearm, deflects the next one with the other forearm, and just rolls out. Watch it right here. Okay, the pawing jab, like I said. Parries that one, deflects that one with the forearm, deflects that one with the forearm, rotates back, rolls out. Beautiful. In a matter of like 2 seconds or 1.5 seconds, 6, 7 shots come off and just boom, 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 stays in the pocket and just rolls out. Beautiful fucking work, bro. Beautiful work. And he tells him, he's like, "You cold, man. That shit was clean, bro. That shit was clean." And it was different angles, different shots. Like, it wasn't just a shot coming from the exact same spot. It was beautiful work. Beautiful. Still talking to the crowd. Still staying defensively sound. Battling for center control. I think he felt some type of way from the way the last one played out. Nice. Beautiful. It's time to show a different style. Like, bro, we can't just do this tactical shit all the time. I'm gonna try to find an opening. What are you uncomfortable with? That's what he did right there. That's why he stepped forward. Okay, pause. This is where I was impressed at. So it's a little trap, a little mental thing that fighters do every now and then. After you've been around somebody so long, after you've been involved with somebody somehow, some way, you start doing little things to act like them. You know what I mean? Like you start mimicking them. It's the exact same thing in boxing. After you spent so much time fighting a fighter, he might start copying some of your movements. He might do something that's a little bit like you. He sees you stand up tall. He stands up tall. He sees you get down low. He gets down low. He's matching your pace. So when I was watching this, I was like, yo, my guy Mahki Phillips really tried to bait him in with this. And he taps his gloves and he's like, and he does this little mousetrap, this little mental game of tapping his gloves, trying to see if Draper was going to bite on it. When I first watched it, I thought it was Mahki Phillips that sets this trap or sets this motion, but it's really Santana Draper. Santana Draper goes into that high guard the way he's been in, but he exaggerates it. Like he motions his hands. He's like trying to get a reaction from Mahki Phillips. Reacts by tapping his gloves. So now you got certain people trying to dictate or what I want you to mimic. Mimic this. Mimic this. No, mimic this. And the reason it's happening is because I'm trying to get you to break your pattern. If I could break your pattern, I could get off on you. So you're going to see both of these fighters trying to influence the other one, right? To do something abnormal. And the moment somebody does something abnormal, you're going to see the other one try to get off on them. Watch. Just watch it. Check it out. Right here. Draper goes up. Mahki Phillips taps. I don't think he realized it the first time. I didn't think he expected him to tap because Draper's a high-level fighter as well. I don't think he expected him to fall for that. So he does it again, trying to get him to go again. Watch. Boom, shoots off. But Draper's like, yo, I'm smart enough to understand what the hell is going on. And is ready to counter. He tries to do it again. And it's just breaking the fighter's rhythm. Beautiful work. And it's just breaking the rhythm of the other fighter. Like, yo, step off of your pace just a little bit. Step out of your comfort zone just a little bit so I can break you. Little feints. Mixing up, playing mental games at this point. Talking shit to the crowd. Now he's trying to dig on his shots a little bit more, trying to impose his power. Regains center control, steps back, resets the situation. You can't just come forward all the time. You cannot. You gotta boom, boom, see if something works, step back. Let me see if this works. Change it up. You see him doing the little feints, the little hand movements, trying to get Santana to bite on it. Santana bites on it but comes forward right after. Just showing different phases. So if you notice right now, Mahki Phillips is standing up real tall, making sure he gets his full range, right? Getting a full extension off everything he's doing. Because if you crouch down, you kind of rotate that elbow out and it's harder for you to get that full range. It takes longer. So just pay attention. Nice little step back. Just like that battle for center control. Okay, remember what I talked about, the levels of how high a fighter stands. And the reason, like I told you earlier, it's a mental tactic, okay? You got used to me being able to punch from this range. What happens if I go here? All right, you got used for me showing you this type of phase. Now, but this phase, I can hit you from different locations. You know what I mean? Just watch it. Changes levels. You see it kind of crouch down a little bit more? Watch it. He's going to do it again. Look how low he gets. He comes over the right hand. And the only reason he was able to come over with that right hand is because he showed a different level. Like, yo, I'm not just standing straight tall up no more. Let me show you how low I can get. And when he crouches down to that left side, Draper tries to take that right step. And then when he took that right step, he rotated all the way out to the right, came over that right hand or his left hand. A lot of feints. Okay, so look, there's something that's just happened? He's rocking forward. Both of them are rocking forward, right? They're giving this motion of who's going to get off. But the other person's trying to time their motion as well. So watch what Mahki Phillips does. Rocks forward. Boom. Tried to shoot that uppercut when he thought Draper was going to rock forward again. Because you're doing this rocking motion, right? Your guard's here. So if you rock right here and I time it perfectly, I could split that guard coming up from down low. So he tried to time it. But like I said, Draper's too defensively sound to fall for little things like that. But it's little mental acquisitions that you made about the other fighter. Like, what patterns are they doing? What are they at? What is the new normal for them that you're taking in and trying to use it to your advantage? It's beautiful work, bro. Talking to the crowd. Santana Draper's baiting that, feigning on that right hand. He went from the high guard to a low guard, letting his head movement show. Really just trying to show a different phase. A lot of lateral movement from Mahki Phillips. And nice. Do y'all see like how often they battle for center control? The only reason I can tell you is because it gives you the ability to do everything else. It really does. It gives you that full range of movement. It gives you that full range of motion to go in, out, left, right, cut off the ring, set traps. Now you can bait somebody to come in if you know you got it like that. But how often do you really want to put yourself in a limited position? You know what I mean? Nice counter. You see, every shot that they get off on each other, it's not like it goes unanswered. Draper, if he gets off on a shot, Mahki Phillips is answering right back. Santana Draper, if he gets caught, he's answering right back. It goes back and forth. Mahki Phillips answers, Draper answers. Draper answers, Mahki Phillips answers. And it's such an even match. It's beautiful fucking work. And it was just like mixing it up. Okay, he threw a jab this way. Okay, then he threw a stiff jab. Then he threw a jab from down low. It was never the same phase every single time. Like, they really had to go in and showcase different things. You see how he tried to feint? He threw that faked out here. Boom, boom. Came different ways. You don't throw the same punch from the same location all the time. Boom. Oh, he opened up out here first. Wow. Did it again. It was beautiful work. I mean, I didn't go over every single thing. Like I said, I really wanted to focus on just center control footwork, a lot of footwork. And you see them battling for center control a lot. I mean, there's other things that was done in there, for example, other than the mental stuff, but the way they threw the punches. So, for example, like I said, the jab came from up high, down low, shifted angles, just changed the speeds, and all that stuff is, like I said, it's like moving pawns. It's okay, I threw this jab sloppy, I moved this pawn to the center. Are you gonna bite on it? Do you expect the next jab to come sloppy? Because if you do, I'm gonna throw a fake sloppy ass jab the next time, come with a mean ass right hand. It's a give and take. It's literally a give and take, and you got to be mentally aware enough to understand what level the fighter's on and what he's going to come with, and stay sharp and defensively aware enough to make sure you don't get caught, because this guy is setting traps. Nothing is what it seems, to be honest, when you're fighting, especially with somebody at the same level as you. Like, oh, you really think that guy's going to come forward fighter? Do you think he's only coming forward? You don't think he's going to slide back the moment you try to push off him and shoot something that you don't think is going to happen? That's what it is. You're trying to outsmart the fighter. That's what boxing is. Outsmart the fighter. See how you can get him. This was poetry in motion. This was the sweet science. So go back and watch the fight, man. I mean, I didn't break down everything down to the T, but just that simple concept of center control, rotating in, rotating out, making sure you knew how to set traps, mental games. Just those small concepts go a long way in boxing. To go ahead and beat a dead horse, being able to stay 100% aware when you can tune into the crowd, listen to your coaches, communicate with this person, communicate with that person, and just be so aware that you are able to tune into all that stuff. Because that's, to me, I think that's one of the hardest things. Finding a fighter that's that composed, that can really tune into every noise that's going on. It's rare. It's hard. It's hard, especially with all your emotions going, your adrenaline going, you're fighting. It's not the easiest thing in the world to tune into. And then when you can, it's like, God damn, bro, you can go like, because that's your outside knowledge. They're seeing things that you cannot see. You got to remember, most of the time, okay, let me explain it like this. The fighter is not the fighter because of, oh, that's how the fighter is. Most of the time, that's not what it is. The fighter is the fighter because the people that molded him. Just like you are who you are because the way your parents molded you, because the way your environment molded you, because the way your friends treated you. Like all these factors made you the way you are. And it's the same thing with the fighter. That fighter is not just like that. Who crafted him to be like that? It's like a pit bull. Yo, this is my dog. I made him this way. I know his ins and outs. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good at. I know what he's gonna do. You know, it's not just, oh, that fighter's just that. No. Who crafted that fighter? It's a lot of times I don't think people understand, because boxing is somewhat of a solo sport. You get to go in the ring and everything's left on you. But at the end of the day, that's not really what boxing is. It's about your team. It's about your people, your coaches. What did they craft? What did they make you? What bad coaching and bad knowledge from a coach or a bad corner can cost you the fight. There's been many times where you watch a boxing match and the coach tells the fighter to go in there and do something, and it gets the fighter clipped. It's a lot more complicated than you think. So for Mahki Phillips to be able to tune in and listen to everything the way he did was just amazing. I was like, damn, bro, you're that in tune. So anything your coaches tell you, anything your people tell you that they see, you're really going to act on it. Like, and they craft you to be this monster that you already are. That's amazing to me. That's beautiful. It was incredible to see. Draper did one hell of a job staying defensively sound the way he was, staying 100% aware, and then being a counterpuncher the way he was trying to be was beautiful. I think for the most part, Mahki Phillips had a little bit more experience than him. And I think, even with that little bit more experience, it was still such an even match. I mean, you can look at it either way, and I think Mahki Phillips was a little bit stronger than Draper, but other than that, it was very even matched. And that was just a small concept of what the hell was going on. There's still so much more. Like I said, the changing of speeds, the changing of jabs, the changing of the position where you're punching from, or how you're throwing the punch. And there's so much more that goes into it, but boxing's such a complicated sport, just like chess. There's so many outcomes that you can do that dictate how the fight ends, dictate how the game ends, how you end up trapping the king. Boxing is just a beautiful sport, man. It was a small breakdown for a phenomenal fight. I can't wait to see where each of these fighters go. Check out my guy Santana Draper. I'm gonna put his stuff right here. Mahki Phillips, his stuff's also gonna be right here. Hopefully we can get this Santana Draper interview done. I reached out to my guy. He said he's down, so hopefully we can get that done. Other than that, I hope everybody had a happy new year. We're going to keep this content rolling. My next video I'm dropping is going to be who I am and why I'm doing what I do. So stay tuned. Hope to see y'all next time on the next video. Peace.